This video is all about left backs. Later on, I'm going to take a look at the three players we're being linked to, which is Filip, Kostic, we're linked to David Raum still, as well as Borna Sosa as well. We're going to discuss them individually in just a bit. But first of all, we're going to look at the situation regarding the left backs at West Ham United, because I think it's crucial that we bring in a substantial left back in the summer transfer window. And if I'm honest with you, I'm not confident that we will. I am optimistic and hopeful, but that's about it. And I'm aware we're being linked to some left backs. I've just mentioned them. But that's part of the reason I'm a little bit nervous, because they're good. They're top tier left backs, and I'm a bit worried that we're not going to be able to get one. I'm confident that we will sign a striker this summer, for example. It might not be the one that I want, it might not be the one that you want. It might not even be David Moyes' #1 pick, but I think we'll sign a striker. But there's a little bit of me, there's a voice in my head really nagging me in the last couple of weeks that we're not going to bring in a left back, and we're going to go with what we've currently got at West Ham United, which is obviously Aaron Cresswell, Arthur Masuaku, and the capability of playing Ben Johnson at left back as well. And I'm not sure that's good enough going forward into next season. In fact, not sure. I am not sure. I am sure it's not good enough. We need to bring in a substantial left back. Now, my opinion's changed on that a little bit. A month ago, I would have liked us to bring in a good left back, a young left back that could compete with Aaron Cresswell next season. But now, I'm even more sort of firmed up in my opinion that we need to bring in somebody that's going to dislodge Aaron Cresswell. Now, if I rewind briefly to January, in the January transfer window, I wanted to see a left back come in. My priority was, of course, a striker. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't. An attacking player. If it wasn't going to be a striker, somebody that could play that role or sort of play on the right wing and budge Jared Bowen up front. Give us something different, an alternative to Antonio when he's out of form or needing a rest or whatever it is. But once we'd got that sorted, I would like to have seen us bring in a left back. Last season, I felt that we were lacking in a left back department, but also in the left wing back role, because I felt that we weren't really that flexible switching from a back four to back three like we previously were under David Moyes. Now, a large part of that was due to injuries. Borna was out for quite a while. Issa Diop had his injuries. Kurt Zouma had an injury. Craig Dawson was injured but carried on playing anyway. Well, we had injuries at centre back, so it made it trickier to switch to back three. And I didn't really feel that we had somebody that could play the left wing back role properly to allow Cresswell to sit into a back three. That's why I wanted to see us bring in a left-sided player. Someone that could play left wing back, move Cresswell at the back, and allow Moyes for a bit more flexibility. Obviously, we didn't bring anyone in. Even now, with the benefit of hindsight, I still think we should have brought somebody in. In the second half of the season, we saw examples of us playing Pablo Fornals on the left wing back role. So it's not great. I felt one or two games it worked, other games it didn't really work at all. In fact, the games that didn't work, I felt it was a bit of a disaster actually. Fornals playing that role or trying to play that role. So I'm even more strengthened in my opinion that we need a left back this summer. It's crucial. The reason I changed my mind, because like I said, a month ago I would have liked a younger player come in, someone like Aaron Hickey's come in that can compete with Aaron Cresswell and eventually take his place. But now I'm kind of glad we didn't get him, because I want somebody that's going to come in and almost be like the undisputed left back. Someone so good that says, sorry Aaron Cresswell, the team you go. Now, just for clarity, I don't want rid of Aaron Cresswell, okay? But pre-season friendlies, I know it's just friendlies. However, I think it's naive. If you see something in these friendlies so far that you saw last season and you ignore it, I think it's a bit naive. And I think with Cresswell's performances, I mean, let's face it, against Rangers, he was dreadful. We all hope Cresswell will be left back in Glasgow. I'm joking, I like him. Just wanted to use that old joke, the left back, right back joke. What role am I today, Gaffer? Oh, you're right back in the changing room, son. Yeah, haha, very funny. So I just wanted to throw the left back joke in there. Now, I don't want Cresswell sold. I think he's still a good player. I think he's still a good left back. He's been a great servant for us. 8 years he's been at the club now. I want him to see him have at least another 2 so he can have a testimonial at the London Stadium. I would love to see him do 10 years of service. It's quite rare in the modern age. I think he's probably one of my favourite left backs that I've ever seen at West Ham United. But I don't want him to go. He's still got an important role going forward at the club, just not as the undisputed first choice, which I think currently he is. So pre-season, I think he was dreadful against Rangers. The other games he's drifted through them, if you like, and it's a little bit worrying because we saw this at the end of last season as well. And I'm not even talking about the red cards that he got in the Europa League in the quarter-final and semi-final. That's gone as far as I'm concerned. I know a lot of people still aren't over it. I understand that. But for me, it's sort of clean slate going into next season. You start again, you start fresh, off you go. You've made a mistake. We don't need to batter him for it. But we go again next season with a fresh start. But not just that. Not just Aaron Cresswell's pre-season. It's Ben Johnson's as well. I think as a fullback, defensively, really, really solid. Arguably our best defender from all the fullbacks. And in this I include Soufal, Ashby, Cresswell, Masuaku as well as Johnson. Probably the best defender out of the 5 of them. But going forward, he's probably the weakest out of the 5 of them as well. We played Reading on Saturday. He started left back. Again, defensively fine. Going forward, positioning, really, really good. Most of his parts of his game was really strong, bar when he got the ball. He'd get the ball in a really good position, he'd have to cut back onto his right foot, and it just killed our attacks dead. Now, I know some people say, but it was only a friendly, but we saw this in the Premier League as well. It's not something new that we've discovered with Ben Johnson, that perhaps isn't quite as strong in the final third with his crossing that we'd like. We've seen it before. It's just reminders that we're getting pre-season. Against Rangers, starts right back, plays an hour before Soufal comes on, and there was a big difference, by the way, between Johnson and Soufal. I thought Soufal looked really, really good, really sharp. Looking forward to seeing him back to full fitness after his surgery last season. But with Johnson, there was that one prime opportunity in the first half. Lovely ball out by Ben Raum. His first touch was really heavy. Good tackle by Barisic, repelled off. Johnson went out for a goal kick, but it was one of them you just thought, So another opportunity that he's had with loads of time, loads of space, get the ball in, didn't work out. So Ben Johnson's got a really important role for West Ham next season. At the minute, I would argue second choice right back and second choice left back. And there's nothing wrong with that for a player like Ben Johnson. A really good player. If we do switch to a back 3, he's an option for playing right centre back as well. He's performed well in that role. As Chris Akabusi loves him in that role as well. He's the first one that said to me, he's a right centre back all day long before he'd even played there. But before we can play 3 at the back, I think we need a new player that can play left wing back but can also play left back, so we can switch between a 3 and a 4 easily. So I think this signing is crucial. I want to see a striker get brought in. I'm confident a striker will come in. But after that, I want to see a left back, and a substantial one too, ahead of an attacking midfielder, ahead of a left winger or a centre midfielder. I'd like to see those positions come in as well. David Moyes is clearly after numerous players still, which is good. But I think a left back is crucial. Anyway, let's take a look at the 3 players that we're linked with. But before we do that, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app, the best way to keep up to date with what's going on at your club. Keep up to date with all the transfer rumours, all the transfer news, what's going on in your friendly matches. There's loads and loads of friendlies at the minute. Conor Gallagher missing a real disaster of a penalty last night. Everton getting beat 4-0. Nottingham Forest winning against Hertha Berlin yesterday for their pre-season. Bit of a dodgy club to mention at the minute, but the best way to keep up to date with all this is on the OneFootball app. You can download it by using the link in the description below, and best of all, it's completely free. Click the link, within about 15 seconds it'll be on your device. You load it up, you click profile, all the stuff you want to see is there. Scroll through it. Happy days. Keep up to date with everything going on at your club with the OneFootball app. Fantastic football app for the football fan. Get it downloaded today. Now, let's start with David Raum. Discussed him a few times on this channel. Anyone that's seen the old videos will know how much I want David Raum at West Ham. I just find it difficult to believe that he'd come to West Ham. Hoffenheim, 24-year-old left wing back. Germany's left wing back as well, but capable of playing left back. Decent defensively, but really, really strong going forward. Got a wicked cross on him. Good shot on him as well. Dribbles fine. Hugs the touchline. Stays wide. Really, really good player. 33 million is the price tag, and this is why I just find it hard to believe, because I think, would we spend 33 million on a left back? I hope we do. I just can't convince myself. But as a quick reminder, the reason that he's up for sale or is gettable this summer is next summer he's got a release clause of 25 million, and basically Dortmund want him next summer. They don't want to pay more than 25 million, so they're just waiting. Dortmund are waiting until next summer to pay 25 million, get him out of his club for 25. So there's an opportunity there for clubs like West Ham this summer to pay a bit more, and they'll get him, because obviously Hoffenheim will be wanting to cash in and get that extra 8 million. But 33 million is the asking price. Would love to see him in a claret and blue. But one player I wouldn't love to see is Filip Kostic, the Frankfurt left wing back. We obviously saw plenty of him in the semi-finals of Europa League. Now, it's not that I don't like the player. I think Kostic is a wonderful player, 29 years of age, not the best age, possibly up for sale. I've seen some transfer rumours about a couple of weeks ago that Frankfurt were open to selling him for around about 15-20 million, which is a fair fee, I think, for a player of that ability, of that age. But he's not a left back. This guy, I don't think he's ever played left back in his career. I think he, as a left wing back, really, really strong offensively. As a left winger, really, really strong. But as a left back, no. I hope that this isn't our transfer target for that left back role. Even at left wing back, he can be a little bit defensively suspicious for Frankfurt. It can be a weakness for Frankfurt. If you go down that side and try and get in behind Kostic, you will, because he can be a bit lazy getting back at times. So when I saw this link as an alternative, Raum's being our first choice target and Kostic being the backup. Now, obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's just hypothetical here, but I hope it's not true. I'm not keen on Kostic at all as our left back. As a left winger, yeah, I guess so. I think there's probably better options out there. But anyway, I feel like I'm poo-pooing Kostic a lot as a player. I'm not trying to do that. I think as a left wing back for Frankfurt, I think he's fantastic. He's got really good ability, fantastic left foot on him. But he's a key player for Frankfurt. A lot of the way that they play is based around getting the best out of Filip Kostic. We wouldn't do that at West Ham, and I don't think we'd get that at West Ham either, especially not in that left back role. So if he was to arrive and the intention was to play him left back, I'd be a little bit worried. I just hope, by the way, we're not trying to do like a 2-for-1 job here. Try and sign someone like Kostic that can play left wing, but can also play left back, and we'll use him as and when required in which position. So some games will be Creswell with Kostic, and other games it'll be Kostic with Ben Rama or something. I just hope we're not trying to sort of bring in two positions in one player and sacrifice something, because we've been linked to Dwight McNeil. Now, Dwight McNeil wasn't meant to be in this video, but we have been linked to him in the last 24 hours. He's somebody else that would fit that Kostic type thing, which is mainly a left winger, but could do a job left back. I just hope to high heavens that's not our intention here. But the next player is somebody we've not discussed yet on this channel this summer, and that's Borna Sosa of Stuttgart. A really fantastic left wing back. I'm not a left wing back. Can play left back. I've seen more evidence of Sosa left back than I have of David Raum of Hoffenheim, that's for sure. Also 24 years of age, the Croatian. Left back for Croatia, but left wing back for Stuttgart. Gets forward fantastically well. Really good dribbler on the ball. Brilliant crosser. What I would say with the difference between him and Raum perhaps is his range of crossing. That sounds like a silly thing to say, but he mixes it up. It's not constantly just whipped in, curled in. Sometimes, I can't remember the guy's name, Stuttgart. They've got a really tall striker. What's his name? I can't remember. It starts with K. Kladzic. Is that his name? Anyway, when he's aiming for him, he doesn't whip it in. He just hits it in direct. He almost like chips it into him, saying, well, you don't need my cross. You'll beat your defender. Here you go. Have that in the air. Beat him in the air. Sorted. So he mixes his crosses up. Takes all the set pieces for Stuttgart as well. Corners, free kicks. He's on them. Swinging them in. 8 assists last season in the Bundesliga alone. But I get unrealistic vibes from this transfer, if I'm being honest with you. He's been linked to quite a few clubs this summer. I've seen him being linked to quite a few Premier League clubs. He's been linked to Leeds United, for example. Sporadically linked to Brighton as Mark Cucurella's replacement should he go to Man City. And funnily enough, last week I seen Sosa linked to Manchester City himself. So it shows his talents there. He is an unbelievable player. He'd be fantastic for West Ham. But I just feel it's a bit unrealistic given the interest of the other clubs involved as well. But price tag's rumoured to be between 20 and 25 million. Pardon me. Nothing too unrealistic. I think that's a fair price, and also a lot cheaper than what David Raum is as well. Would I be happy with him? Oh, I'd be delighted. I'd be delighted with Sosa. I'd be delighted with Raum, and I'd be very, very suspicious and worried if Filip Kostic was the player that we brought in to play left back. Like I said, not a bad player, just not a good left back. I just don't get it. I can't get my head around that one at all. So there you have it. Anyway, you guys at home, please let me know what you're thinking of the left back situation. What left back you want to be brought in at West Ham United this summer. Some of you might not feel it's that important, but I think it's crucial. I think it's absolutely crucial we bring in a left back. Also, tomorrow, it's Friday, but it's not just Friday on Hammers Chat. It's Special Guest Friday, so come back tomorrow night. The video should be up about 4:30, 5 o'clock. If all goes well, recording at 2:30 with a special guest, and we'll have to turn it around and get it edited up and get the sponsorship part put in there. But hopefully tomorrow night's video will be really, really enjoyable. I'm excited for it, actually. Special Guest Friday on Hammers Chat. But if you've enjoyed this video, drop a like on it, subscribe to your channel. I look forward to reading your comments later, and I'll catch you tomorrow.